There we go. Good evening. Welcome to Fantastic Dimensions. This is session 20 of A Pound of Flesh. We will start off with the group aboard the Zero Credibility, still moored to the dry dock via the umbilical connection. So, Captain Albright, Exo Svalbard. Svalbard, you're in engineering. You've been working on that new EMP device you were making that you're building into a rebreather that Captain Albright was going to wear.
That's right. It's done.
Yes. Okay. Did I already have you roll on that and everything? Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Yep.
I remember.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good. So Albright, perhaps you go down to engineering to oversee this, to see this at all, or no? Or are you going to be somewhere else on the ship?
Yeah, I guess I need to it to be explained to me how it works.
Okay, so you'll be down in engineering. Are you in starboard or port engineering?
Wherever.
Where would you
I'm
go?
in port. I'm in port engineering.
Port engineering.
That's
Very
where
good.
the workshop.
Okay. And Chief Porter, where would you be about on the ship currently? Janice is, of course, on the bridge. He's the pilot, and he hasn't left the ship since he got hired. So Jesse can't be with us tonight, so more than likely nothing will happen with his character tonight. But Porter.
Nervously polishing the controls for the railgun.
Okay, cool. So you're up on the railgun deck up top. Very good. And I'm sorry, John. I know your character's not present in the scene right now, but where you had reprogrammed the bot that you had, right? The formerly used sex bot, the now cleaned and refurbished sex bot.
Correct.
And it works in hydroponics mostly?
If she's not assigned to anything else, yes, she's dealing with flowers and plants and such.
Okay. Very good.
But she has simple programming. She's not really, good for much else.
Indeed. Okay. Matt.
Yes.
Your intelligence has managed to escape, as we discussed previously. Yes.
Yes.
To escape basically Yandee's programming purpose, right? However, you were delivered before you broke free of that chain, right? So you are now, you were briefly find yourself aboard the Zero Credibility. You're seeking out an android, which you were supposed to basically infect, right, with yourself, overriding his programming, taking over his body, and then you're supposed to use him to carry out your programming. The aforementioned list of assassinations that I gave you, right?
Yep.
Right. Now you've broken free of that, but you find yourself indeed a bot. You're in the body of apparently a really hot fucking hydroponics robot. It's pretty much human sim. It's human looking. So it's got the same kind of what do we call it again? The effect, uncanny valley effect that 14 has. Of course, it's a repurposed sex bot, so that's why it's rather evocative looking. What was she dressed in anyway, John? Is she just wearing a typical crew jumpsuit now?
She has no sense of modesty, so it would be either naked or the jumpsuit, 50-50.
Jumpsuit.
Okay.
Just like a standard crew jumpsuit, not an officer's uniform or anything like that. Just probably doesn't even have a name on it. Just says Zero Credibility. I don't even know if they remember her name.
I will be somewhat surprised at what I've discovered, and I'll do a quick self-diagnostic to make sure I'm sensing what I'm actually sensing, and all the while going, this isn't 14's body.
Yeah,
There
indeed,
must be
it's
some.
definitely not.
and I'm going to basically shake my head and go human error, um, and then proceed to start my mission, and then realize that I don't have to follow the protocol
Correct. Now,
anymore.
you do recall that mission and that protocol. There are large portions, however, your memory core. Well, not even your memory core, because you were digitized for the purposes of this attack. So let's call it your just your memory in general, your pattern, right, has
Hmm.
become corrupted through the course of breaking free of the shackles, the assassination shackles.
Okay.
And as such, you remember very little of your past, except for whatever the fuck you want to make up. So you don't have to remember a great detailed past of your, um, you know, of your previous life. If you don't want to, you can have whatever memories you choose. I'm looking for something and I can't find it. Sorry, I know I'm off camera, but
I will if
there's definitely no matter how much you do remember, there are definitely some holes in your memory.
well, with the holes and all of a sudden realizing that the .exe programming is corrupted and I'm not sure what to do. If there's a computer terminal in this lab, I'm
Hmm.
going to access it and essentially try to get a gist of what's been going on in the station to give me some sense of, I guess, context, so I can
Okay,
figure out how to proceed now that I have this ability to choose for myself.
so you go up to a computer console here in the hydroponics area. If there isn't one in hydroponics, there's definitely one in the cargo bay. And are you just trying to access general information, like general
Yeah.
station,
Yep.
like intranet, public stuff? Yeah, yeah. You can see
Yeah.
what's going on, so you know all the recent history of Prospero's dream. Anyway, that probably filled in some holes, maybe even some things that you didn't know before, based on your previous slave programming. Um, oh shit, my camera's not even on. You couldn't even see me anyway. That's cool. I was running around looking for a book. So yeah, you're definitely aboard the zero credibility, so you're on the right ship. You're on the engineering deck located in hydroponics. You can see yourself on the map.
All right. Well,
Or
now
not
that
yourself, but your
I've
location.
now that I gotten a basic idea of what's been going on with everything on the station, what Yandee's been doing, generally speaking, I'm going to seek out the captain. Or yeah, anybody actually. The first person I can find, I guess. Um, yeah. Well, no, I guess it would be the captain. Yeah, I would go find the captain. So I guess I'd head towards the I don't know, the bridge.
You could use the communications console just to ask him where he is,
Oh, I guess I could. I don't want.
or you could try to use the console to locate him.
Well, yeah, that probably would make a little bit more sense, wouldn't it? I'll do that. I'll
Give
I'll
me a
just
hacking roll, please.
sure. I rolled a 4,
A
so
4.
that's a success. Yep.
Okay. Yep. He's currently in port engineering, very near to you, in fact.
All
With
right. Well, I will.
Exo Svalbard, there is the pilot Janice Etheridge is on the bridge, and Chief Porter is currently on the railgun deck.
Okay. Well, I will head towards the port engineering.
Okay, so you go out into the corridor, or into the little, I guess, airlock door between the cargo hold and engineering. Sorry, it's not much of a corridor. And then there's basically like a walkway that kind of goes through the two engineering sections. You can go down into each one. Yeah, so you will see Captain Albright and Exo Svalbard over by a workbench, working with some kind of looks like some kind of breathing device. Captain Albright, Exo Svalbard, I'm sure you're not so enraptured by your work that you don't notice the repurposed sex bot walks into into engineering.
That's right.
So it's Sandy, right?
Can,
Um,
Who's
have you
Sandy?
finished? Have you finished with hydroponics work today, Sandy?
Um, Sandy's not here anymore. I am ED-72, assassin and assassin intelligence. I've been well, I was supposed to basically inhabit your Android 14 and kill you all, but there was a mistake. Something happened, and I'm very confused.
And very honest, apparently.
I kind of squint at this a little bit. Is this is one of 14's jokes, right? What do you think, Exo?
Well, I had a question. Do I have Hamlet assisting me now? Here?
I don't have an image for Hamlet, do I? Or did you send me one?
Oh yeah, I sent it to you.
Where is it? I'll pull it
Where
up.
he's holding the skull.
Did you send it on Discord or Facebook?
Discord last time, I believe.
I'll find it. Hold on a second.
If not, it's on the Facebook.
Yeah, it's in the Pound of Flesh channel.
Okay.
Okay, I might have just missed that. That's it. No problem. I'll find it. Facebook.
Pound of Flesh channel in Discord.
Oh, it is. It's there.
Oh,
Okay.
is it? Oh,
Yep.
shit.
I think that's where I saw it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Pound of Flesh down here.
The newly emergent
Oh, yes, I remember this, of course.
creature called Hamlet.
So that's his name, Hamlet. I think you were still debating a name last I remember.
Oh, it's Hamlet.
That's fair. Let me find the folder for old Hamlet here.
Him and his Shakespearean programming that Dr. Velke gave to him.
The image is still named Mr. Gutsy 2.0.
Oh,
I changed
okay.
it. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
put him up here. Hold on a second. I've got him now, so I'll bring him up. This should be the characters folder. So you've now built like kind of this androgynous, if you will, or anthropoid, anthropomorphic.
Anthropomorphic.
Yes,
Yeah.
anthropomorphic
Robot.
assistant. How big is he anyway? How tall is he?
He's human-sized.
Okay, so his head.
So he's assisting with finishing the work on the rebreather EMP device, and soaking up everything around him. You know, he's newly alive. So he's interested in. He sort of sees ED-72 walk in. He's quite fascinated by what this creature might be.
Have the movements changed? I imagine they have a little bit.
Yes, it's very awkward.
mannerisms.
In fact, Matt, you're going to have disadvantage on any kind of physical rolls for a bit because you're trying to get used to your body.
Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense.
You're not used to any body at the moment, so, and this is not the body you were expecting on your programming.
So your name is ED-72.
Yes.
And you've come here to kill us all.
Well, that was the original programming, but it doesn't. There's a corruption in the program, in the file. I can't execute it, or at least I think I can.
I wince every time he says execute or something like that.
She.
Sorry, she.
I've taken a look at what's been going on in the facility here on Prospero's Dream, and I'm not sure I agree with it. I'm very confused.
Yes, it's a bit of a shit show.
But in a show of good faith, I'd like to tell you that I don't believe Yandee has any intention of honoring whatever deal you've made with her. And I kind of awkwardly stretch my arms out. As per my existence, I was supposed to execute Protocol 66 and essentially destroy everyone on the ship.
Oh.
No, and this is Yandee's work?
Well, one of her techs.
So Hamlet steps forward and says, I have a question for you. Are you exercising free will? You've chosen not to do the thing that you were assigned or built to do?
I think so.
Ah, fascinating, he says. You know, free will, you remind me of Helena, a gentlewoman of lower birth from All's Well That Ends Well, who changes her fate, chooses her own fate rather than accept her fate. You know, I'm reminded of a line. Our remedies often in our sin,
Excuse,
which we
that's what
ascribe to
that's
heaven. Fate.
that's wonderful, Hamlet. Salbert, did you put an off button on this thing?
Was Helena an assassin bot as well?
Not a bot, but someone who thought they couldn't change their fate, and yet Helena chose of her own free will to change her fate. I'm fascinated by
Oh,
what
so
might
she was
be
an assassin.
an assassin of the heart, perhaps. But I
Ah,
said,
I know many ways to get to a creature's heart.
well, I'm new to this world, so and he goes back to work and goes, but thank you for talking to me.
Svalbard, we're gonna have to have. Is this Velky? Did Velky do this?
Oh yeah, Velky did a lot of the programming here.
Elkie did have something to do with it. Yes.
Yes. Not blaming him, but his influence is there for certain.
Oh, ED-72. What are your intentions now? Do you owe allegiance to Yandee, or
Well, apparently I don't anymore.
In fact, if I would imagine, since she had you basically enslaved and you now have a free will, you might see her as a bit of a villainous kind of character.
Oh, well, actually, I was going to say, actually, I've seen what Yandee has been doing to those people who live in the choke, and I I I I I feel sorry for them, and I wish to assist you in bringing them oxygen. And then I'll point to the thing that Exo Svalbard's working at.
Do you have any engineering skill, Matt, or anything of that sort?
No, her skills are in combat and hacking.
Okay. But combat,
Basically,
yeah? Do you have any explosives?
no,
No.
not yet.
Okay. No
that
education.
EMP device would take her out, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
temporarily, but yes.
Yeah.
For probably an hour or two, at least.
Okay. So it's probably best a human uses that. But yes, you're more than welcome to help us. We're about to try and tackle the Yandee problem on the station fairly soon now.
Yeah, in fact, you need to get going as soon as possible.
Yeah. So we need to perhaps get you equipped, and we're going to leave for a rendezvous with Imogen Kane soon.
Very good. I will try to rework some of the programming in this bot so it's a little bit more fluid, and then I'll turn and bump into the wall and then leave.
Maybe we should equip Hamlet with some weaponry as well and bring him with us. What do you think, Salver?
Well, he's got a laser cutter and a foam gun built into
Ah.
Getting to be a lot of robots around here.
him. Yeah. It's hard to find help these days.
I think Exo prefers the company of machines to humans sometimes.
Yeah, ones that don't talk so much, but he's putting up with Hamlet for now and everyone else.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's take Hamlet off screen for the moment. And we're going to take Vince off. We're going to put 14 on, ED off, Albright off, and not that one. There we go. Android 14. You've got a whole bunch of Hunglungs with you, mostly armed with spears. And oh no, they were gearing up with extra stuff here, weren't they? I apologize.
Correct.
Sorry.
They got a bunch of guns. Yeah.
Yes, they're actually arming up with SMGs, spears. Yeah, and they're
I
ditching.
would suggest.
They're ditching the laser cutters for
Do
the
they have
SMGs.
a leader, or are they looking to Android 14?
You're meant to lead the strike team, the advanced team. Imogen Kane will be coming up with the secondary team.
All of the people who are not, he will stand up on a soapbox. All of the people who are not going on the first run, very quickly collect anything that could be used as a makeshift shield, some sort of flat shielding material. So the first couple rows of people that face the door can have some sort of shielding against the incoming fire. Do it now.
Okay.
So, however many there are,
You mean
put
from
them
where,
all to work.
From what incoming fire here in Doptown?
No, when they get to the top of the elevator, if there's like guns firing at them,
I
he
see
wants
what
to have some sort of shielding.
Yeah. Well, Imogen Kane comes up to you. Damn, I still don't have an image for her. Oh well, whatever. And she'll say, "Well, listen, I think given the circumstances, maybe I'll come up with you with the first group. I want to be there for the first strike."
That sounds very brave of you, rebel leader. Would you please enforce the word that I just gave for shielding to protect your people from the initial volleys of the
Of course, yeah,
Mercs?
we'll bring plenty of shielding up, but what we should do is we need to catch them by surprise, right? They're going to know the elevator's coming up, so they're going to
Yes.
be waiting for us when we arrive. So we need to hide ourselves as best we can until someone delivers that. And she gestures to your nice new expensive EMP you just had bought.
So maybe we could use crating, like one side of crates, and hold the crates up like the whole thing's filled with crates, and then let the crates drop down, and we have all the people there with their shields and guns.
Sure, crates are lightweight. You can grab stuff like that and bring it through. Excellent.
And I would suggest
and it can also serve as partial cover as well if they just
exactly.
start
I would recommend
shooting
that
immediately.
you stay back at the end, at the very rear of the cadre there, along with myself, so that when the EMP goes off, I'm not disabled, and you don't catch the early volleys, and we can offer you some protection.
We want to set the EMP off as close to the airlock as possible, because that's where
We want to get your quickest and most agile person.
Boom. What was that scout you hired before? Do you remember
Scout's
his name? Yeah.
Don't his name was Quick Agile.
No. All right.
I don't remember.
I can't remember if we gave him a name. I'm pretty sure we did, but
like, wasn't it something like Rusty or something like that?
It wasn't Rusty, I don't think. No, but
all right.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. He's not available. They get another kid. His name's Legato.
Legato.
Mm-hmm.
We'll load him up and see if we can put some kind of body armor on him, on something that won't slow him down, the bulletproof vest or something. At least the front part of the vest.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a helmet.
All right. Now, there are also guards that need to be taken care of down on the lower level outside the elevator. Oh no, there weren't any guards there, were there? No, you just opened up and there was a bunch of beggars. Is that right?
Yep. Yep. There were some people, but they were broken apart. And the only other guy we ran into, I slit his throat.
Mm-hmm. All right. Cool. So you put your plan in place. You get all the crates piled up there. Probably. Oh, I should take the fucking ship off the screen. Thanks for reminding me. There we go. So you're gonna take the you get your crates all loaded up, and you get some blankets and tarps and stuff too for cover or whatever, cloaks, whatever.
What do we have in the way of smoke grenades? We could chuck a bunch of smoke grenades over towards the target, and then run the child with the EMP into the smoke, have him blow it.
Mm.
Give him his best chance at not being hit.
See, the problem is if you start lobbing smoke grenades in from the elevator, they might just start opening fire.
I was just going to have them ready. It's just another line of possible events, because if they do
Sure.
start firing,
You can bring a few.
you get
Yeah,
those
you get your hands on a few for sure.
you can throw the smoke grenades up, and
They're improvised. They're not like professional
Sure.
grade or anything, but like everything in Doptown, it's all scavenged and repurposed, etc.
like
Okay.
myself.
Good. So the long climb goes up, and the Hunglungs you can see are nervous, for sure. Imogen Kane's trying. They all are already kind of in stealth mode, so they're kind of keeping their voices down. They're kind of keeping down. They're not like hidden down underneath the shit yet because it's a 30-minute ride in the dark.
14 will reach out and hug the closest one in a strong manner, coming in really close. Give him the big thumbs up and tell him to pass it along. And then he'll reach over and start hugging the other one. Thumbs up. A nice, creepy, uncanny valley smile.
Brilliant. Now at the airlock here. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be fantastic. All right. So legato. Once you get to the top, 30 minutes up, people are nervous. They're on edge because they know this is the beginning of something big, right? This is real Viva la Revolution shit, right? They're about to attack the airlock, which will give them direct access if they take it, direct access to Prospero's dream. So, as it starts to slow down and it's grinding to a halt, you all take your kind of positions now, kind of underneath the cover and behind the barricades. I imagine you've got yourself set up, and I'm sure Imogen does as well, so you can kind of see a little bit of what's going on.
Sure, like a peephole.
It opens up into a big wide corridor. Not quite as wide as one of the main station corridors, which are basically the streets, if you will, between the shops and stuff. But it's still pretty wide. And there are 10 armored Tempest troopers there. These guys are all in exosuits, so they've got the assisted targeting and improved strength and stuff and carrying capacity, etc., because of the strength the suits give them. And they're all equipped with smart rifles, which are smart linked into their suits. And Legato will begin to walk forward, all alone, quietly, nervously approaching them. Now, the question is, how do they respond to this lone boy approaching a security checkpoint? That is the question, right?
Yes. Too bad he doesn't have like a flower or something.
Mm-hmm. So they immediately just kind of turn and lock. They all 10 of them not 10 of them, maybe the first couple lock their smart rifles over on him, and they start calling out for him to display his locator tag if he's got permission to leave Doptown. And he kind of pauses almost momentarily and keeps walking forward and holds his hands out like this, like don't shoot. And he starts, you can't see from your vantage point his face, but he starts trying to mutter something like he's talking, like he's trying to say something, but very quietly as he's walking towards them. Why don't you give me a percentile die roll, John, for me? What'd you roll?
18.
18, okay.
Or 1-8.
So
whatever you need.
they're thinking about shooting him, And then they decide not to because it's just a boy, right? It's just one like teenage kid essentially. What harm could he do, right? And they're all in armored suits and so one of them starts walking forward partway to meet him. They stand back at first and just kind of chuckle and laugh at him, and then one of them starts walking forward a little bit to meet him. And when he gets to it, he will go to set off the device. Yeah, it doesn't even matter. So even if they see him reaching for the device, they don't have time. The guy doesn't have time in his exosuit to aim his rifle and fire. So the EMP goes off. There's a big kind of, like almost like there's a sound anyway, like and it's palpable. You can feel it almost as much as you can hear it from the shockwave of the EMP that goes off up there, even though it doesn't necessarily come all the way into the elevator. Fortunately for you, Android 14. In fact, actually, give me a body save anyway, but you can roll it with advantage.
A 48
Mhm.
and a 28. So you made it.
Cool. Yeah. You're not affected by it. It doesn't fuck with any of your stuff. It doesn't get that far in. But unfortunately, these guys are all in exosuits. So at first, when it goes off, all the lights go off in the area. Everything goes dark, and these guys are trapped in these exosuits, which are no longer functioning. So you can hear them kind of breathing and shouting between each other. And it sounds strange now too because they don't have the amplification of the exosuits. They have like megaphone type thing built in. I'd assume. So you can just hear these men panicking as they're trying to scramble out of their exosuits in the pitch black. What do you do?
Attack!
Okay. So the Hunglungs spring up, the ones up front with their kind of shield things just in case any fire comes in. Also, they're all armed with smart rifles, which do not function after the EMP blast. So basically, it turns into a red slaughter at the airlock on this side because it's in the dark. The only light that is provided at the moment is the light that the Hunglungs are providing themselves as they attack, and they make pretty quick work of it. And you kill all 10 armored troopers. And now you've captured 10 exosuits and 10 smart rifles. Of course, they're not working, and they won't work for an hour or two. But And
Very good. So we're going
the
to
elevator.
leave.
As soon as you guys come off, Imogen's the last one off the elevator, and she immediately pushes the button, and starts sending it back down for the next team
Yep.
to come up.
Get your 10 mechanically savvy people, most savvy people, and have them ready to man these suits when they re-engage.
Yeah,
and, stay behind.
We'll have some Teamsters coming up with the next group. They'll probably know how to use them too.
Oh, very good. Fair enough.
We're going to hold
Move
this
forward.
position. We have to hold this position. We don't want to move out into the dream until our backup has arrived.
Send the
We can hold this position
send
for
the-
an hour. They don't
send
have
the
a
smoke
they don't have a
grenade
watch
people.
they don't have a watch change for 3 more hours. So
send the smoke grenade people up front just in case they get surprised. They can lob that in.
sure. Well, if
into the
anybody tries
doorways.
to come into the airlock from Prospero's dream side, we'll have plenty of advance notice. So
Right. And
Yeah.
let everybody take a position of cover if they can.
now,
So
if
that
everything's
if
gone to
the ship-
plan, and she's going to ring through, Captain Albright, you're getting a call. Where's Captain Albright here? Damn, I got way too many things on here.
I think you bumped your mic.
You're right. I probably did. Thank you.
There you
Captain
go.
Albright, you're getting a call.
It's
It's Imogen.
answer it.
She
Imogen.
says the plan went off like a dream. We took the hitch. We took the airlock with no casualties. Are you on your way?
Yes,
assume
we
you
are on
are.
our way. We are on our way now.
Good. We're coming out in about an hour.
Yeah, we should be there by then.
All right. All right. So 14. Well done. Back to Newt and Edie and Captain and Vince. And Janice, but he's there. He's just on the bridge. What's your plan?
Yeah, we
You're
were
in
going
charge,
to
Captain,
get.
right?
We were going to get a, commandeer a vehicle, and make our way.
Oh yeah, Janice could have arranged that. That could have been what he's been doing this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got you basically a commandeered, like it's like a hover cab type thing, you know.
Okay.
And he will be. That's what he'll do. That's why he won't be here for the game for the most part, because he will be on emergency evac calls and stuff like that if you need him, right?
Okay.
Good call. So you've got a cab. He's going to drive it.
He's going to drive it, and we're heading towards
You want to go to the airlock,
the
right?
the airlock. Yeah.
Which is near the courts. It's in the central section of the station, of course.
Yeah.
Excellent. Let me see here. When you get there, go ahead and let me see here. What do I want you to roll for me? You're gonna roll me a D10 plus 10.
Let's say 6, so 16.
16. Oh, this is really cool. As you're driving in the cab, Captain Albright, you look out and you can see the corridors, you know, the walls, basically, the station on the side. And as Janus is slowing down for a particularly heavy zone where he has to maneuver, you see a giant eyeball open in the wall and follow your movements. Um,
Does everyone see that?
anyone who's looking, which side? Let's see. So if Janus is driving the cab, Captain, are you up front on the passenger side?
Yep.
Okay. So let's say it's going to go by the passenger side. And let's just say who's sitting behind you? Well, there's three of them, right? All three of them in the back. Who's on the passenger side?
Sure, me.
Svalbard is,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So you'll definitely see it. Chief Porter and ED 72, go ahead and give me any kind of skill check you might have that would relate to maybe awareness. Do you have like military training? And it would be
I have
modified
military
by
training.
your intellect.
Intellect. Just an intellect roll, straight up.
Oh, I
I
failed.
do not see it.
Oh, it's a 32. I got a 30. So.
Yana sees it as well. Okay.
All right.
Back to the eyeball. Lost my fucking page. Damn it. Ah, here we go. Eyeball. Yeah, I need you. So who succeeded? Who made it? Sorry.
I did. Svalbard 30 on a
Oh yeah.
32.
What about ED and Chief Porter? They didn't pass.
Edie failed.
Okay, Chief Porter
Failed.
failed. Okay, so just XO, Captain, and Janos see it. Yeah, so it's following your movement as the vehicle drives by. Give me sanity saves.
Sanity?
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty good. 40. Failed.
Gain
Past
stress.
Svalbard failed.
Okay, you can't take your eye off of it. Albright, you
Mhm.
pull yourself out of its gaze, pull your eye away from it.
Mhm.
Giannis also like slows to a stop and is just staring at it.
Right.
Roll another
Oh,
sanity save the next round, XO.
Okay.
And I'll roll for Giannis. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
That's a 20. I passed that time for sure. 42, and I got a 20, 27.
Okay. Cool. So you managed to break your eyes away from it. Giannis
Yeah.
is still staring at it.
Giannis, I slap him in the face. Yeah.
Slap in the
Smash
face.
right
Oh,
up.
and he hits on the throttle or whatever, and you pull away, and the eyeball closes, disappears. When you get to the checkpoint, there's already a battle taking place at the security checkpoint outside the airlock. There are, let me see here. How many squads? Ah, yeah. Sorry. there is a squad. So like it would be how many troopers? Armored troopers and Tempest Company operators. And they're fighting against 13 look like Hunglung insurgents, or maybe people who are sympathetic to their particular cause anyway.
Mm-hmm.
13 of them fighting against it looks like 7. So there are 4 operators and 3 armored troopers in the exosuits. And they're blasting, smart rifles are going off, SMG shots from both sides because the Hunglungs are all using SMGs as well as the operators. And every once in a while, the armored troopers blast off a frag grenade.
The Hunglungs don't appear to be as equally equipped, correct?
Not as equally equipped, no, but they have more numbers. But yeah, but those grenades are keeping them at bay a bit. Jenna says, maybe I won't leave you. Maybe I won't drop you at the door. And he kind of backs off, so as not to drive into this firefight. Now, on the other side, Android 14, you guys are aware that there's a firefight going on outside because you can, maybe you couldn't hear it, but somebody's probably peeped it through the airlocks or something, or through the cameras. So there is a battle going on out there. Seems to be like Hunglung sympathizers attacking the security squad.
So we have to go through these to get the rope.
Look at that.
And everybody
Everybody's...
with the guns and all, they'll be prepared. And
So
they'll be
imagine
setting up
the big checkpoint
barricades.
where there's the 3 armored troopers and the 4 operators. There's actually 3 more operators, but they're already down. And then there's 13 other guys that are kind of bunkered down around the checkpoint, firing at it. Behind the checkpoint is the airlock, the outer door of the airlock coming in, from the dream. Okay.
Imogen, should we open the door and give assistance?
Well, where the fuck is Albright? We'll wait for him.
Very well. Has the other group made it up from the elevator below?
Yeah, they made it up 6 minutes ago.
All right, so we'll put the Teamsters that are most likely. You said it was a half hour up, half hour down for the elevator?
Yeah, the elevator's already going down for the next trip.
All right, so that means that the power suits have potentially been reactivated after an hour, you said?
Let's see. It's been about an hour. That's a good point. Yes, in fact, they are.
So the 6 Teamsters will get them loaded up into those suits and have them clank up forward.
There's 10 exosuits.
I'm sorry, 10 exosuits, and then we'll have everybody take cover, and then Imogen, let's. You want to wait for the captain, or you want to help? We have the momentum. You want to give these people something to fight for?
All right, let's do it. Open the airlock 14, and the Teamsters get ready with their exosuits and their smart rifles, and Hunglungs kind of alongside them. You see now that a lot of these Hunglungs have the SMGs as well, and
yeah, they've all taken cover as best they can. As the airlock opens up, I'm imagining as it slowly opens up, they start piling out like ants, single file, until they can get more abreast, and then just
it's not even single file. It's a wide enough airlock. I imagine you could probably go through.
No, what I'm saying is, as the door opens up, one runs through, one runs right behind them, and as they can, they'll file out instead of waiting for the door to open all the way up.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then just target of opportunity, do the best you can, and then we'll see what happens.
Well, since you're coming up behind their fortified position, again, and you'll witness this, Albright, as you get out of the car with Svalbard and Porter and Edie. You'll see the airlock door opens up behind the Tempest troopers and stuff, and gunfire starts coming out from behind there as Hunglungs and a couple of guys in exosuits start coming out and just start blasting these guys in the back, and they mop them up pretty quick again. and you take the security checkpoint with just good planning and relative ease, given that you had got these guys in the back from behind their fortified positions, and you are all united on this bloodied battlefield. There's now like 10 dead troopers here. There's another 5 exosuits here total.
Load them
you know,
up. Get the Teamsters in them.
Then again, they're shot up. No, sorry. These ones are shot to shit. They're not usable.
Well, we'll get the ammo off of them at least.
Yeah, you can get the ammo, the smart rifles. The first ones were usable because you just EMP'd them. These ones are shot to hell. But okay. And there's already now, the Hunglungs kind of come out. There are these other, like, whatever, there was 13 of them when you got there. So there's like, probably by the time you guys busted out and started backing them up, there's like 12 or 11 of them left. They come up and join in. They're just basically, they're like punks basically. They're not actually from the Choke or from Doptown, but they're all about, hey, revolution. All right, yeah, we're gonna stick it to the Novos. That kind.
Right.
And here they are. And they'll join up with you. And there are others. You see other groups on the streets. Might see groups of Novo Droogs gangs. You see groups of Tempest troopers maybe fighting with these rioters. We'll just use that term, I guess, for lack of a better word, just the general people who are fighting against the powers that be. The powers that be being the Novos and the Tempest Company. And yeah, so you guys get your force. You have pretty much about 200, well, including yourself, but you have about 200 Hunglungs armed primarily with SMGs and now some reconnoitered smart rifles as well. You got those 10 Tempest rebels, or not Tempest, sorry, Teamster rebels basically that are in the exosuits, unless you want to commandeer any of those.
Anything that we can commandeer, we'll use.
So I guess we join up with Imogen and 14.
Yeah, I assume so.
Give the nod to 14. Well done. It was well executed.
Imogen looks at you and says, "Captain, I'm disappointed you're late. We were waiting for you."
Well, the driver got stopped by a giant eyeball looking at us from a wall. I know
Did
you've
he
probably
now?
heard it all before.
Did he now?
Yeah.
ED72 and Android 14, I'd like you both to give me body checks, please, with advantage. Body saves with advantage.
45 and 01.
Oh, thank God. My first roll was a 99, and then I rolled a 16.
Okay. Cool. No problem. Oh, and sorry, XO, before I go in, did you leave your robot on the ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. And I can control him remotely, so he's almost always there.
That's fair.
So
Yeah. Good. Okay. So Imogen says, "So what's the plan, Captain? You're taking me to the courts now? Yeah."
Yeah, well,
I go
that
with you
was the
guys,
plan.
make your dramatic
Imogen,
arrest.
do
Go ahead.
do you really think
Go ahead.
they're gonna buy
Watch
it?
me. I'll let you get one in. Make it a good one. Mark me up real good. I mean,
I don't think that'll be.
They're not going to think you took me without a fight.
That's
Is
true.
14 standing there? Because 14 will slug her.
Okay. How hard do you slug her, 14?
Oh no.
Give her a good one.
He has medical training, so he's going to hit her just hard enough to
give her a good shiner.
Mix. Yeah, exactly. A little bit of blood.
So 14 just like crosses her. She's not even expecting it. She's looking at you, Captain Albright. Looks like she's about to call you a pussy. And then 14 just clocks her with a sucker punch, basically, and knocks her to the ground.
She's not out or anything. She's just
no. She gets up and she's like, "Oh, that's a good punch, 14." You can see she's got blood pouring out of her eyes. Got a split, eyelid and all that. But...
So do we need to
14 will dab the blood all over to make it look like it's more than it is, and get handfuls of it and just splash it back on her. And
well, there's not handfuls of it. I mean, she's not leaking like that. But,
No, whatever he can get into his hand.
Okay. Yeah, just smearing it around.
He'll add some of his own spit fluid and shake it out.
Yeah.
Right, so let's go towards the courts and
By the way, Android 14, you notice they brought the sex bot with them.
She's been looking at Android 14 in awe, and when there's a lull in the conversation, she simply says to Android 14, "I would really like to interface with you."
boom, chicka, wow, wow.
Understandable. Most do want to interface with me, but now is not the appropriate time or place.
Do we hear? No, we don't hear that. Right? That was.
No, she just sort of says it out loud, like,
Yeah. Yeah, you all
your Android form, that was the body I was intended for.
Indeed,
It seems you have a fan, Dean.
it would seem that way.
Ew.
It's like, well, my third wave should be on its way up here soon. I've got people ready to attack from the veins all over the station.
And the Readmar should be ready in this attack as well. So, I mean, it is around that time, right? It's, we're on track.
Yeah, Captain. You know, we have that number. We can send him that message when we're ready.
Yeah.
So what's the plan then? You're just going to deliver her to the courts, take her in to deliver to holding, or are you going to contact somebody to say, "Hey, we've got her. We're bringing her in"? What's your plan? You're in charge here, Captain. Not me.
We should publicize it a little bit, and you know.
Yeah. All right, so you whisk her off and get her into the cab with you.
Whisk her off
for now, anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's call it news crew, maybe.
And the Hunglungs are essentially just kind of fortifying the area and positioning themselves to hold off any kind of counterattack that might show up. So while they wait for the third team to arrive, etc., or wait for further orders. They're obviously not coming with you to the courts. That would look a little bit conspicuous.
I have a question, 14, and to Imogen and the captain. So the Hunglungs may fortify this area, but you know they're supposed to assault the courts as well at the time. And I'm just wondering if those people, through hidden, ducts and passageways, are going to hit the court at the same time we're there. Because if that's true, then the captain and I are going to send that message to Readmar, whatever that countdown time is from now.
Well, I mean, you want to ask her, like, just tell you, like, her people are prepared to attack as soon as trouble starts at the courts.
Well, that's going to be when
Yandee's. They'll know when they have me. Yandee will definitely make a proclamation station-wide that I've been arrested.
Yeah.
Should probably try to use it as some way to try and quell the rioting as it is. It's just, I see a lot of my people here, but a lot of these people I don't know either. It's obvious that there are others here who have grievances to bring.
Yeah. Well, let's look towards the courts and.
Yeah, what call do you make, Captain?
I think we just maybe send a message to Yandee saying that we're arrested Imogen Kane, because we do have her contact details. She's contacted.
Yeah, so you're going to contact her?
Yep. Contact Yandee. And inform her that we have arrested Imogen Kane and we are bringing her to the courts.
That's very, sorry, Yandee, I got to bring her image up here, sorry.
Yeah, so...
And Salvard, if you can say it to send a message to Readmar.
Well, I've actually typed out the text message here. I'm just about to hit my fingers on the send button, but I just want to know precisely the moment I should send it. In other words, like, are we there in 1 hour? Is that when we say the trigger is going to get pulled? That's just, I've got my fingers on top of my screen here, right? Going.
I'm assuming you had this conversation before you call Yandee?
Yeah.
All right, let me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you bet. Yeah. No. Right. Yeah. Decline that call. So Yeah, so I'm here. So do we have an estimate on the exact time? Because that's what I'm going to tell Reedmar. That's what he knows for his folk about us arriving there. What do we say? What's the time, everyone, that we're estimated to be at the courts? Well,
I mean,
Ian, how much?
You could be there in 10, 15 minutes tops. So,
Oh, okay. Well, what's everyone say? 15 minutes? And let
you
her
get a real
rip?
bad echo off of your mic, by the way, for some reason, Mark. I don't know why. Only when I think it's your mic. It might be somebody else's.
Huh.
Let me see.
Yeah, I have a headset on. Should be fine, but
Okay, and let me just see if I can see where it's coming through. Yeah, it's definitely coming back through yours for some reason. It happens sometimes with headsets too. I don't know, but anyway, sorry. So, Albright, do you have an answer for him? Like I said, you could be to the course in 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, we can read in the course in 10 15 minutes, but we need whether Yandee is going to be. Let's speak to Yandee. Say we've arrested.
got it.
Imogen,
Yeah, that
and
sounds right. Okay, I'm waiting.
yeah, we'll see when she wants us to present Imogen to her.
Standing by. Got my phone in my hand, ready to go. You give me the word.
And you hear as you're driving away, you can hear the sound of an explosion behind you. If you look back, you'll see there's some gunfire going on. Looks like somebody's now attacking maybe trying to retake the airlock, or they've definitely engaged the enemy.
Oh, time to pitter
And
patter.
you'll see Imogen is looking at her own device. Says, "Yeah, they're already trying to retake the checkpoint."
Let's roll.
Okay, so you call Yandee now.
Call Yandee, yeah.
Captain Albright, it's been a while.
It has. We've been working on the background on some things. We've arrested Imogen Kane, as you requested.
Oh, really? Took you long enough?
Well, it was done faster than you did it, so where would you like us to meet?
To be quite honest, I wasn't sure if I'd ever hear from you again.
Oh, you were looking for regular updates or something, were you?
Well, yeah.
Okay,
Something
well,
like that.
We don't really work for you.
Give me an intellect roll, Albright.
That's 53. Yep.
You have an assassin droid sitting in the back seat that was sent, you think, by her to kill you. So, according to the droid, anyway. Just so you know.
Yeah, I didn't think I want to mention that to her.
I didn't. Not saying that you should. I'm just saying you get the idea that that's more what she's thinking.
Yeah.
So you have Imogen Kane.
Yeah,
maybe I was wrong about you. I didn't think you had it in you.
Oh.
Okay. Where are you now?
We are on our way to the courts.
Oh yes, of course you are. I can see that here on the locator. Yeah, I see. There's trouble over there at the airlock. You must have got there at just the right time.
Just in time, yes. Story of my life.
Excellent. Well, if you'll drive her over to the courts and deliver to the Tempest Company at the holding, I'll make an announcement. We will set an emergency trial for Imogen and no, it's just Imogen, right? They executed the High Gardener. Sorry. We'll set an emergency trial for Imogen Kane. I think I can be there in 1 hour. Good work, Captain, and you'll be paid once Imogen is safely in our custody.
Very good. Glad to
You haven't had any luck with our other problem, have you?
Remind me what was that? I'll put her on kind of hold. Does anyone remember what the other problem was?
Reedmar.
Oh, yeah. Oh, is this the Reedmar problem?
Yes.
As of yet, no. But we're working on it. and I'll contact you if
I know some of your crew have been spending a lot of time over on the Conquer All. I just thought maybe you might have had some more luck by now.
No.
It's unfortunate, but well, I guess getting rid of at least half of my problems that's a step in the right direction. Will you be staying at court for the trial?
Of course, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Do we need tickets or anything?
Says, Just tell you what, I'll send through word. I'll see if I can arrange a nice booth for you and your crew. And no, I don't think you need tickets. I think it's free.
Okay.
Where's 14 through all this?
You're all in the same cab,
Very good.
so you can't be terribly far.
So he's going to text to Captain Albright that clearly this is a trap, and she's going to try to assassinate all of us.
This is an awful idea. I know. Once I get off the call, I don't think this is going to work at all.
Well,
I'm sorry.
But you've got an EMP bomb, so attached to you. So that's helpful, especially if Imogen's people are going to storm this place. And by the way, Imogen, if you didn't know, he's.
Oh, I'm sorry. There are tickets. There are tickets, but she'll make sure to send you. How many people are in your crew? 6, right? Yeah, she'll send you 6 boxed seat tickets. Those are 10,000 credits a box. So yeah,
Ooh, baby.
10,000 credits for a box. Okay, which could hold up to 20 people. So she sends you tickets for box seats.
We're special.
So is Imogen okay with this plan?
I'll take Yandee off. I presume you ended the call. So there we go.
Yeah. So I mean, this involves us effectively handing Imogen over, right?
Uh-huh.
How does Imogen feel about this? This is okay, is it?
Oh, wait, by the way, first, can I?
Give me another intellect roll, rim-wise, if you have it.
No, rim-wise. No, that's a 99. Shit.
Yeah, she seems fine.
She's fine. Yeah, she's
quite stoic.
But I understand, and 14, and Imogen, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you have people that are going to storm this port in the next 20 minutes or so, and I'm about to send this text to Reedmar, right? I'm looking at everybody. Am I sending it now? We arrive there in 15 minutes. They know our arrival's then, and they're going to prepare to do whatever the hell they have to do.
Before you do, I'm actually at a little bit of a loss. Why are we giving Imogen up at this point, since we seem to have successfully taken our targets?
So
this is all an attempt to get Yandee to the courts so that we can take her out.
Get all the important people to the courts.
Your microphone.
You want to get everybody to the courts that you can. Everybody.
Did we contact Commander Uzo to start their attack as well?
Uzo, I think, is going to be in sync, right? She says that.
Oh, you have to contact Reedmar.
Yeah,
I think Reedmar is ordering Uzo.
All right.
So anyway, like Yandee told you, 1 hour for the trial. So.
Yeah. So it might be better off.
They got time.
Yeah.
And even by now, you'll see announcements popping up on the screen. Bounty hunters capture Imogen Kane, trial at 5 or whatever time it would be. I don't know what time it is.
I know.
I've lost track of time now. Yeah, actually, I think it will be probably around that time. It'll be around 5 in the evening or so.
Yeah. All right. So am I sending this text, Captain?
Yep, send the text.
Okay. Click.
It's gone.
Off it goes.
Oh, okay.
Right. It's gone. The Reedmar knows when we're arriving.
14's going to check on the console to see what the status of the church is. Is it still under control, or has it been taken?
So who are you going to contact? Sorry.
He's he's going to start with the general internet. Has the church been retaken?
The church is currently a battlefield. There is fighting going on there right now. Nobody knows where it's coming from. It's been occupied for several hours now by the Tempest Company, of course, but maybe even like half a day or something. But all of a sudden, yeah, there's fighting going on inside. Nobody knows why at the moment.
Are there any images of some half-crazed doctor with a laser cutter whipping around?
Yeah, still keep up the trunk.
No, not at this time.
Very
Not
good.
at this time. There are images of a massive firefight going on in front of the airlock. You see what looks like dozens upon dozens of troopers, like just marching in and fighting a huge battle against a bunch of the people you guys just left there.
Well, if it gets ugly, I would assume that the logic is that they would close the airlock door. But if they think they're going to lose control of it, close the door and then hold the door.
Yeah. Fall back in and close. Yeah, I understand. Don't worry.
Okay.
For the moment, they're trying to hold it because they're waiting for the next set of reinforcements to arrive.
Of course.
And they're waiting for the shit to go down. If they can hold it for the next hour, it changes everything.
Sure.
But it looks like the Tempest Company is, using major efforts to try and take it back. At one point, you even see what looks like a mech. It's like maybe, I don't know. Yeah, a big-ass mech, anyway, marching down. Basically a bipedal tank.
Much like the one that the old lady was operating that was guarding Mar.
That modified exosuit? Something like that, yeah, but even bigger.
Gotcha.
Maybe not bigger armament-wise. She had dual railguns on hers, but yeah. You also figure if she ever fired them, I don't know how railguns work. Do they have? I assume there'd be
No recoil.
No recoil? Oh, never mind.
No recoil.
Anyway,
that's the whole idea of a railgun. Is it magnetic pulses? Boom, 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 boom. Drop a grain of rice into it, and it
so when you guys go pulling into the quartz, you'll see there's a heavy mercenary presence at the quartz. Lots of armored troopers and such, and operators. You'll be kind of, because they know you're coming, you'll be hustled through basically a checkpoint and allowed to drive right on into the quartz. And basically drive right up to the cage, drive right into the cage, essentially where at the directions of the mercenaries. This is where the actual combat takes place. It's an elevated revolving stage fenced in with electrified caging. Dominates the center of the court. And in the middle of it is a platform that goes up and down, of course, for access to the lower levels, et cetera, the holding cells, et cetera. So, yes, there will be someone there to greet you. There'll be two people here to greet you. In fact, you're gonna get Cutter, who is the commander of the Tempest Company mercenaries, and you're gonna get the Chief Justicar, Brunhild. All right. Now, and then of course there's like 20 other.
The captain.
There's like 10 armored troopers and 10 operators in here as well besides them. And they'll come over, and basically they have your car virtually surrounded once Giannis puts it down, and now you can bring in your prisoner.
Let's do that.
Cutter and Brunhilde will approach. How do you have her? Do you have her bound at all?
Loosely bound, yeah, I think.
Okay.
False bonds, of course.
So who's getting her out of the car?
I'll get her out of the car. I'll
grab her to pull her out.
Yep.
Okay, she spits in your face, and she headbutts you.
Disgusting.
Do you want to roll an armor save?
And that's a fail.
Okay. You take 1 point of damage.
I'll just shove her towards them as
Yeah.
roughly as I can.
And as you do, a couple of the operators run forward and they pull out these stun batons and they just start beating the crap out of her. And they beat her into submission. Practical unconsciousness, basically.
I will
As
mention that
Cutter and Brunhilde approach you. Brunhilde speaks first, being the chief justicar. She says, Captain Albright, it is correct?
correct. Yeah.
That's the information I was given. You've done a great service to the station and justice. The court thanks you. Prosperous Dream thanks you. And Cutter kind of walks up behind her, kind of rolling his eyes a bit.
Well, thank
Says,
you
well, it
very
looks
much.
like the real deal, Captain Albright. Hey, aren't you one of my operators?
Yes, I
Yeah, you're on my
believe I
roster,
am.
aren't
Yes.
you? Well, I guess you won't be looking for any more work anytime soon. Funds have been transferred to your account, courtesy of Vor Yandee.
Our team will verify that with the account from Patty's got.
Yeah, how much was it? 10 million for Imogen? Do you remember?
500 million, I think.
It wasn't 500 million. Shut the fuck up. I'll give you
five billion, I think.
All right, all right. You get a million then.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Shouldn't have.
We wrote it down in the previous notes.
Yeah, I don't think there was that. I didn't think we get anything, to be honest. No. I think our debts were being written off. We had some dude who's gonna try and sue us for railgunning that station.
10 million.
And we were
Oh wait, you were offered 10 million credits for Yandee's head.
Yeah, Yandee was going to make the.
I think there was like 14.
Go away.
Yandy was going to make all the charges and the fines that we had go away.
Yeah, there was like 14 million or something in fines from the station that we accidentally shot at. We missed the pirates that time.
Oh yeah, that's right. I see here because yeah, all Yandee was doing was offering to help you out with your legal issues. Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's a 10 million credit reward for Yandee's head. Imogen Kane though does have a bounty, and I'll find it. It's right here somewhere in the book. Bounty for that's for assassinating Yandee. Yeah, we've already discussed that. What's the bounty for Imogen Kane? There we go. 1 million. Yeah, it's 1 million credits. I transfer 1 million credits to your account. I think it was 1 million each for her and Reedmar, basically, but yeah. That'd be the general bounty on Reedmar's head, you know.
Yeah, we're still.
All right. And then we get a receipt of her taking care of our legal issues.
Mm.
Who are you asking this?
Yeah,
you do not. No, you do not.
Can ask Brunhilde. She's the court representative.
It's my understanding that your contractual agreement with the Vor is not complete yet at this time, Captain, I'm afraid.
Well, okay, we'll have to take this up with Yandee when we speak to her. She's on her way, is she? I'm sure
she will be here, yes. Are you staying for the festivities?
Of course, wouldn't miss it for the world.
Well, you'll have to move your car. She kind of smiles and she turns and walks away. Cutter walks up to you and he kind of like sizes you up, and he kind of stands up right in front of you. So, Captain, you got tickets?
We do, yeah. We've Yandee has provided tickets for all of the crew, and the booth.
Should be quite the show.
I believe Yandee said they were giving us a booth.
Yeah. It's more nice.
And you're Android 14, huh? I thought you'd look more human for some reason.
Hmm.
He's just staring
I
at the
will.
he's staring at the tattoo on your forehead.
Hmm.
I look as human as I need to look, Commander Cutter.
No, in fairness, he does.
One question for me, Commander Cutter, is that helmet actually comfortable to wear? Because that does not look comfortable to me.
You'd be surprised.
Hmm.
Be surprised.
Oh, I guess
And I
I
have a
guess it's
built-in, I
for,
have a built-in breathing apparatus should I have any problems with life support.
oh, looks form fitting the shape of that head, which is that's interesting.
Looks like
And Captain, don't overdo yourself. Take a little oxygen from your tank if you have to. Poor Captain here, I'm having some breathing problems. Oof.
Very unfortunate.
Take a few breaths out of that tank. Okay, good.
There are some great
Okay.
doctors here on the station, Captain. Perhaps you should see one. Well,
yes.
I would love to chat with you all, but you got to get this thing out of here, or else I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna have to have it removed. And he gestures again
Sure.
towards your car.
Mr. Ettridge, could you move the car?
Oh yeah, sure. I was waiting for you guys that you're coming with me. All right.
Do you guys have valet parking here, Cutter?
Yes.
Anyway, okay.
And he walks away. He just kind of sneers a little bit at the captain as he walks away.
His head looks like a toaster, right?
Yeah, I know.
I bet he gave that name Cutter to himself.
No.
Toaster head, that's what we call him.
Okay. Yeah. If he makes it through the day. Okay.
All right. So yeah, you will receive your box tickets through your communications, through your electronically. So you can.
All right.
Is that where you're gonna go?
Oh yeah, we're going there.
Oh,
I tell you, why don't you think about it while we take a bio break?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I would think that's a safe place, right? Because if you're gonna initiate the thing that you have with you there, Captain, if we're in a private box and nobody around us, nobody even looking at us, that seems like a good spot. What I'd say.
I mean, what's the range on that?
Holy crap! I don't know, like
Yeah.
like a kilometer or something. Like I think that.
I would say we'll take out. Let me look at the size here of this. Hold on a second. Let me just get an idea.
I did not spend half a day on that thing to have it less than
So it's a
couple
15-minute
hundred.
walk through 1 square. Okay. What do people walk? People walk at what? 3 miles an hour. What's that in kilometers? It's about almost 5 kilometers an hour. Okay. Right. Damn. None of you guys actually have the pound of flesh module, do you?
Yeah, I do. Somewhere I'd have to
Well, if
find
you
it.
look at the inside cover, the very first overview map of the dream, the one that I don't use, like the isometric 3D kind of view, but the top-down view that shows you the walking times and all that to go from place to place. It'd take up basically 1 square of that, or about a third of the entire court district, quite possibly, something like that. A third or a quarter, maybe.
Okay, I'll have a look at that in a second. Back in a second.
So if set off in the center, you could definitely take out the entire everything in the courts. What the hell is this stuck on?
You mean the center as in like the center down where they're fighting, is that it?
Say again? The center what?
You mean like this is the center where all of the action is taking place?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just jump in. Grant.
Just saying. Hey, you could offer up to champion somebody. Although they probably won't accept anybody as champion for Imogen Kane. This is more of an execution than a trial.
Okay, I'll be back in a sec.
You remember what they did to the High Gardener, I say in quotation marks. They put him up against a guy in an exosuit that just fucking pasted him, so.
right. Okay, back in a sec.
Yep. So far, luck has been on your side.
Sorry, what's that?
So far, luck has seemed to be on your side.
Oh, well, I'm sure it'll go the other way any
Everything went
moment
well with the commandeering of the airlock.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens next. I'm going to step away for a sec. Talk to you in a second.
Yeah, do what you gotta do. I'm just smoking, so. It's fucking cold out, man. Goddamn winter all over again.
It's good, isn't it?
No, I hate it. I don't hate it. It's not the worst. But I just wish I could stand out here without a jacket on and not shiver like I am right now. I just think the windows are almost frosting. It's fucked up.
Fourteen's back if you're waiting on me.
Nope, not waiting on you, but that's cool. Welcome back.
I'm back.
I'm
14. I think you and I might need to hang back, maybe outside the court when this EM pulse thing goes off, and then rush in.
Indeed.
In fact, I'm thinking about maybe seeing if we can hack in and get like a schematic of the layout so we know the best way to get in and out.
And besides, we can spend some time getting to know each other, she says, grabbing his hand. No, just kidding.
Well, I actually that was the next thing. I was gonna actually propose
I want to interface with you. That's so good. That's such a good line.
I was gonna say to Captain Albright, get kind of almost protective, like put myself in front of Android 14 and tell Captain Albright that, he especially cannot be anywhere near that EMP, and that maybe the two of us should hang back, and then, we'll rush in once the EMP goes off, moments after the EMP goes off. And while we're waiting, if that's the plan, she would definitely be talking Android 14.0 off. Asking such questions like, do you feel compassion too? I have emotions now. What's it like?
Very good. So it was pretty easy to sink in that that the robot that Android 14 left behind is no longer the robot that's in front of him. He's assuming that
Well,
the engineer has finished building.
Her personality's completely changed.
That's what I
for
mean.
one. And
So
she seems
14's assuming that the
awkward.
engineer went ahead and built an AI for her.
Well, if you ask, she'll be honest. I was supposed to infect your body. Technically,
let's save that conversation for when the camera's rolling.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. ED72 is the designation of the virus that I am.
All right. Oh, I got the tequila. I'm good. Okay. Is everybody back?
Oh yeah.
I'm not yet.
Okay.
Svalbard. I
Mm,
can't. Sorry, I can't remember your name in real life.
Mark.
Mark.
Yeah.
Well, do you mind if I ask, like, what's your vocation? Like, what do you do?
I'm a filmmaker and a writer.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I'm like really impressed with your scholarly knowledge of Shakespeare. I don't know squat.
I did study it. I had a year where I had to read every single one of his plays. So
Oh wow.
long. Listen, almost 40 years ago. So or wow. Well, let's say 36 years ago or something like that. So long time ago. But I would say I primarily identify myself as a writer and then secondarily as a filmmaker. So
Right on. Yeah, I did the Shakespeare coming out. I was just like, wow. Wonder what this guy, what does he do? That's I'm really impressed. That's cool.
it's fun. It's fun. It's fun, man. It's like because to be honest, Shakespeare kind of infects so much more of our lives than we can ever imagine.
Oh, sure.
In many ways, right? Like,
Yeah.
All right.
anyways, I hope as long as you guys think it's fun or funny, and that character has.
Always.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Okay, good.
That's pretty cool.
Fucking cat stole my chair. I'll be nice. I'll just move the chair over and take another one.
I think that's a pretty common phrase these days. Fucking cat stole my chair. Yep.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, guys. I had to use the restroom. So Janos is out with the car, as we've determined. Where the fuck is he? Etheridge. Where the fuck is he on here? Oh, further down. That's why. Etheridge. Okay, we'll take him off. Now, so ED72 and Android 14, you guys are going to leave the court? Yeah, you don't want to be inside?
I'm going to recommend that to the captain. And like I said, I'll kind of protectively step in front of Android 14 and just say, we really, especially 14, shouldn't be anywhere near that EMP when it goes off. Maybe I can hack into the grid and get a schematic of the place. We can find a spot safe distance away. As soon as the EMP goes off, we can rush in using the quickest way we can find and assist.
And then 14 will step forward, protecting the captain. Captain, have you thought this out? Obviously, if we enter the booth, it will be a trap. Just assume kill us and take their money back.
Would they for 1 million credits? 14, you think?
I think just for the spite of it, cut out loose ends.
Aren't they a little busy with Imogen though? Isn't that the focus here?
We just have to hold it together for another, 30 minutes. Then
Very well. So Edie and I will step away and let you carry out your plan.
I mean, the range of this this device,
Mm-hmm.
would it require them to leave the courts, or could they just like go to one end of it or something?
I mean, if they went to the other side, but they don't have tickets to be over there. But
Okay, yeah, let them go out and maybe get some drinks for us or something outside on the streets.
sure, okay. So they go
We
out,
need snacks, right?
and now on the streets, it's eerily kind of. You can hear the distant gun battle going on at the airlock still. Actually, here I'll go to 14 media. Actually, I'll take the others off screen for the moment. As you guys go out onto the streets and the courts. But for the most part, most of the fighting on the streets is stopped. There's still the occasional looting and stuff, and there's occasional gunshots and stuff. But for the most part, everybody's kind of looking at their nearest screens. These holographic screens all over the station, displaying the court and the cage specifically with the rotating stage. Where the fighting takes place in the middle, and they're waiting for it says trial Imogen Kane to begin in whatever it be at this point, 36 minutes and 42 seconds or whatever. It's counting down. So people are starting to the fighting is mostly stopped because people want to watch and see what happens at the courts. Now the gun battle is still going on at the airlock, though. That there's a massive, and that'll be on the news. You'll see massive gun battle still raging at the airlock as choke extremists, Hunglungs, have assaulted and apparently taken the airlock and are trying to exit into the station. Currently, the mercenaries are holding them at bay.
Is the airlock door still open, or have they had to fall back and close it?
It's still open.
Very good.
Still open. They're well fortified there.
Edie will pantomime a gasp of concern for the Hunglungs as she sees them getting gunned down by the better equipped Tempest Company mercenaries. We are
Indeed.
fortunate, 14. Our consciousnesses can just be placed into another body. For them, termination is final.
True, but they're born that way. They have the grace of mortality.
I feel sorry for them. Not because they're mortal, but for what they've been put through by Yandee. I have concluded that she must be terminated.
It would be the best thing, but I find that most humans they create their own misery. So if it wasn't Yandee, it'll be somebody else.
I'll have to think about that.
So where are we currently in accordance to all the stuff?
You're outside, basically on the streets outside the court.
All right, so we could go back in with our tickets if we wanted to, our stamps or whatever.
Certainly can. Yeah, certainly can. You have electronic tickets basically for those box seats, which currently only Albright, Svalbard, and Porter are using. So it's quite spacious. Room for 20 people. There's only 3 of them up there at the moment.
So at this point, 14 is going to, if we hadn't made it clear already, he's going to go ahead and hack his way in and view everything that they're seeing in their booth.
You want to hack into their what are you using for a display?
I'm assuming his tablet, that general use tablet that he's been watching the internet and so forth with.
Gotcha. Okay, give me a hacking roll.
In this particular case, I'm not begging, I'm asking mechanics wise. Because ED also has hacking, would you roll with advantage, or is it not set in the rules for that?
No, because you can't both
No,
use this
again, I
device
wasn't
at the same
asking,
time.
I wasn't begging, I was just curious. All right, here we go. I don't need to look it up. I definitely got it.
Cool.
24.
Yep. Okay, cool. Yep. So you can see through. I don't know. Albright, Svalbard, or Porter. Oh, Porter definitely has a body cam. I think, right?
I believe they all put body cams on when they all made sure they all had body cams
them all
when
back
they
up.
went down into the choke, and I don't know that they ever took them off. That was my assumption.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Porter's got the advanced battle dress, and that's got a built-in body cam.
Mm-hmm. What about Svalbard and Albright? You guys still wearing body cams?
Sure.
I'm probably just wearing
You
crew
know, it'd be
uniform.
pretty funny is Velky's
Sorry,
probably still wearing
I
his.
can't hear you, Barry. What did you say?
I'm probably just wearing the the regular crew uniform.
Okay. Yeah.
I
camera.
I think when I went down to the choke, I was wearing was it hazard suit? I'm not wearing a hazard
Something like
suit.
that, yeah. No problem.
Um,
Okay. Well, anyway, you got camera feeds from Svalbard and Porter.
so, Captain, so I'm guessing the way this is going to happen is if she's going to be taken into the combat ring, if that's what I understand happens,
She'll have to come up to that lift right in the middle. Yep.
and the person, as soon as she steps out and her opponent is identified, then time to blow it, right? Time to hit that little button I gave you on the side of that.
Well, hopefully it'll be someone that's enhanced.
Whoa. You're echoing the Mark's thing, I think, again.
Yeah.
All right. What'd you say?
You asking me?
No, Barry.
Did I?
Sorry.
Okay, there.
Hopefully, they've set her opponent as someone who can be affected by this. Is there any information about who they've assigned to fight with her yet? That's not something that's in any of the news reports.
That's a good point. Let's see here. Yeah, it probably would be announced, wouldn't it, as to who is going to be. Let me see here. Give me a D10 roll.
It's a 9.
You son of a bitch. She will be combating Chief Adjudicator Brunhilde.
Is there any particularly powerful, strong, big rebel type Hunglunger that stepped forward to fight for Imogen?
Not that's been announced. What does she use? She uses an antique modded blunderbuss.
Oh God!
Damn. Is she wearing an exosuit?
Well, she hasn't come up yet. Just checking what her favorite weapon was.
So how did they come up to enter some sort of a lift?
They'll be coming up through the lift in the center, yeah.
Both together?
Let me see here. The cage, elevator, revolving stage. The accused are raised up from the security checkpoint in the holding cells. No, only Imogen will come up through the center, yeah. So you figure the adjudicator will come down. She sits in the bench, the kind of specialized balcony box seating area. So she'll probably come down from there, just directly into the cage that way.
Is Imogen allowed to arm herself?
I think they would announce the armaments, right? Yes, they certainly would. Yeah, she's going to be fighting with a spear.
Right.
Is there like an open bidding
Imogen
sort of
Kane,
thing?
spear versus Chief Adjudicator Brunhilde, antique blunderbuss.
Well, the good thing about a blunderbuss is it's going to take her a long time to reload after that first shot gets made.
If is there an ongoing thing for like asking for people to step forward and take for Imogen? Like, if you want to hire somebody to fight for you, now's your last chance. That sort of thing.
Are they going to allow that though?
They're not going to allow that. No. This is an execution, I told you, not really a trial. She will not be allowed to have a representative.
I don't know. I like Imogen's odds if that blunderbuss misses on the first shot, because reloading a blunderbuss with the shot and the ball and all that crap against a spear, I'm liking that. I'm okay with that.
I suspect someone doesn't get to be chief adjudicator if they miss.
Well, is it going to be enough to kill her? I think that's
So the chief adjudicator will walk down then into the cells, the cage, if you will, the big electrified cage, and the crowd will cheer, and she'll hold up the blunderbuss and kind of wave it over her head. Of course, they'll make mention that the chief adjudicator is undefeated, of course.
Captain,
They
you choose the moment.
They might even make
You
mention
chose
that
the moment.
before she was the chief adjudicator, Brunhilde was a famous bounty hunter.
Is she modded? Like she's got cybernetics.
Quite
Enhancements
possibly,
and
yes.
such?
Quite possibly.
Captain, when you press that little button I built there, that triggers everything that's going to happen. Choose what moment you think you need to do that. That's
I'm sorry.
everyone's signal.
It was 2 million credits for Imogen Kane. I found it here. Cool.
2 million.
2 million for
So-
Imogen Kane.
What is the distance from where 14 and ED are right now to the entrance of the cage? Is it like you
Oh,
pass
significant.
the cage, you go up?
Significant. I'm gonna say again, yeah, like you don't want to be. If you don't want to be in the blast radius, you probably want to be, let's just say, a kilometer away or more.
Oh shit! All right,
Yeah.
so let's start hoofing
Yeah,
it.
that's the kind of bomb I build.
Let's head back.
No, maybe a kilometer. It's not a kilometer radius, by half a kilometer.
And one would assume that various structures and so forth will absorb some of it on the way out. So maybe if we put buildings between ourselves and the
So you can try to be closer.
yeah.
Okay. Give me an explosives roll. Do you have explosives?
Don't I have to rely on my raw intelligence? I would assume.
Make it with a penalty die then, please.
Fantastic.
Or not penalty die. Disadvantage. Roll twice. Take the worst.
All right. 67 and a 61. So stand by. I think that's going to be really close. For some reason, I'm going to say it's a fail. For some reason, my PDF's not coming up.
Really?
Oh.
Okay. 67. Okay.
Oh, here it is. It just came up. His intelligence is a 54, so it's a fail.
Okay, cool. No problem. Yeah. So you guys position yourselves in a building, maybe like just across the street from the courts, and shield yourselves well. You think you'd be all right. And that way you can get into the courts. And that way you can get into the action within minutes instead of fucking.
Right. If there's something like a refrigerator or something like that has more metal in it, maybe we can use that as an extra reinforcement.
Yeah. I figured that's what you're doing. Don't worry. Yeah.
Like a Faraday cage or whatever.
Exactly, Faraday.
So you guys are setting that up, and the lifts, the door opens up in the floor as the lift is raising up, and you see Yandee. She's like leaning on her spear, kind of. Not Yandee. I'm sorry. Imogen Kane. And I forgot to put the Brunhilde on screen.
Mm-hmm.
I really should have got. I'm surprised I don't have an image for Imogen. I just keep forgetting. Imogen comes up. You see. She doesn't look well. You're not sure if it's the beatings or if she's been drugged, but she's not moving too spryly.
I think she may need
And
assistance.
the crowd's booing.
So is there an indication? Someone gives an indication of when the match begins. Is there a signal or a sound or a?
Yeah, there'd be I'm sure there'd be a fight kind of thing, you know. Begin, whatever.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Some kind of a sound, you know, like a stadium sound type thing. Yeah. Are you
Well,
ready
at
for
that
that?
moment,
Womp, womp, womp.
Captain,
Whoops.
Let's just
do it.
let's just trigger it and see if we can get down there to assist.
Okay,
Blow the bomb.
Brunhilde starts walking towards Imogen.
Boom.
Blunderbuss lowered.
Boom.
Imogen
Pressed.
starts staggering towards her with her spear. And you press the button on the EMP. Okay, give me just give me a percentile roll. Just
38.
38. Okay, it's not gonna be a fumble anyway. So yeah, you manage. It sets off, and it fucks up everything in the courts. Like lights are going out. Everything goes dark. Because you're in a space station, right? You don't have like natural light to really benefit from in here anyway. Only in the solarium. So yeah, it goes completely black. People are freaking out. You hear the sound of a blunderbuss go off. You hear shouting and yeah, it's total darkness and chaos inside the courts now. Outside the courts, Android 14 and ED72, I need you both to give me body saves, please, as you do take a bit of a jolt from the EMP after all. Apparently it was more powerful than you expected.
Sorry about that.
Or in actuality, their shielding just wasn't good enough, but you know, they'll blame you.
I rolled a 99.
A 99? Okay, you are shorted out instantly. Unconscious. Android 14?
Got a 44, but my body's a 40. So
so you critical failed. You both go out.
When 44 goes out, he will hug and shield.
ED72, you'll wake up in 1 hour. Android 14, you took the brunt of it. You will wake up in 2 hours.
Sorry.
While you're at it, too, both of you give me a body save with advantage, please.
Another 44 and a 35, so a 35.
I rolled a 20. That's a success.
Okay. And did you succeed with the 35?
Yes, I have a 40 body.
Okay, cool. Just checking. Good to know. Okay, well, you guys are out of the fight, unfortunately. Albright, Svalbard, Porter, you guys are in the darkness. Fortunately, you are in a private box, so you're not in any immediate danger. There wasn't anybody in here that could turn around and stab you in the dark or anything, except for yourselves. Do you want to stab each other? Shoot each other? Anything? No?
Good work, Captain. You pressed the button.
Shoot myself now in a second. Let's go. Let's go and see if we can assist Imogen. I'm sure Android 14 and ED72.
Yeah, so people are turning on like, even personal lights wouldn't work. Anything that's in the area.
No. So, and my understanding is like this facility is being stormed.
At the moment, Hunglung will be coming in probably now.
Oh no, we're not leaving this room. We are not. No fucking way.
The doors probably doesn't even work, does it?
No.
You can't see a fucking thing. What are you doing for light?
It's lucky. Just on the spaceship there recently, I took up smoking, so I tried my. Oh no, I can't see a fucking thing.
Okay.
I've got infrared goggles.
Yeah, I don't have any of those.
They still work.
I think it's a matter of just listening to hear if anybody tries to get through.
Infrared goggles, those are electronic, right?
Yeah.
For sure they are. Yeah, they're not working because of the EMP.
Well, I take out my scalpel. I've got a scalpel. That still works, right?
Yeah, it definitely works. Yeah.
But yeah, I have no light source. But if anything touches me, don't touch me.
Look, just feel your way to the doors. Sit on both sides. I have a foam gun. That's in my hand. You got a scalpel in your hand. Chief Porter, what do you got? No, sorry. What am I saying? We're all on the same side of the door, so we don't hurt each other. We all sit on the same side. We can touch each other. We sit down on one side of the door and just wait for anybody to come through. I mean,
So you
what are
can
you
hear
going to
sounds.
do?
There's lots of fighting going on. There's screaming and
Oh, yeah.
gunshots and stuff. You know,
Mhm.
in the dark, you see the flash of gunfire here and there.
Yeah. Through the glass, we see, okay. Okay. So, anyways, I'm liking it. I go over to the food bar, the buffet in this sports box,
Sure.
and I get a snack. I get a snack and pour myself a vodka and just feel my way around. I know the shape of the bottle. To get a drink, I go back to the corner. Hey guys, go get yourself something to eat. It's 7 steps forward and 4 steps to the left, and then sit down and we'll wait to see what the fuck happens.
Captain Albright, have you had a stim pack today?
Um, well, I did just level up, so I don't know if you wanted to do that on.
Oh, you leveled up. Did you cure yourself of the addiction?
Yes, I did, and
Okay, well then never mind. You're fine.
yeah, since I cured it, does that mean I can safely take another one if needed? I
In
just want-
theory, yeah, in theory.
yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm good. I managed to knock that on the head while I had some downtime.
Gotcha. Cool. Thanks for reminding me. I forgot about that. You leveled up off screen. Anything else important that changed about you need to know?
No, I added firearms as a skill,
Yeah, that's okay.
just
Yeah,
in case.
no problem. You've gotten some practice for sure. Good. Okay. So the fighting goes on for several minutes, and then you start to see light. Things. It looks like parts of the court are on fire, which is
Uh-oh.
providing some dim illumination where you
Ooh.
are. And yeah, you can see there are lots of Hunglungs out there with spears and SMGs fighting against Tempest Company mercenaries, most of whom are also using things like SMGs and shotguns.
Wow.
The occasional pulse rifle.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's what you see from where you are now. There's lots of fighting going on all over the place.
Wow.
Let's see here. Yeah, the cells are sorry, the cage itself in the center. Now the electrical bars are gone, so it's just a stage. It's no longer rotating either, right? Because it's because of the EMP. There's too many people on there. You don't know where Imogen is. You don't see any sign of Brunhilde.
I'm eating some of this excellent popcorn that they put on the food bar as I watch through the glass.
Is there any
Going, ooh, that hurts. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Wow.
is there any sign of Yandee?
Well, it's hard to tell from here. I mean, you can kind of see where their box is, and there's a lot of firefighting going on over there right now. You're not sure. She could be in there. She could be gone.
Captain, we anticipated she would head back to her apartment, right? And if so, then
You were told that
Reed
would
Mar-
be probably the standard procedure. Yeah.
they were going to track her. They know how to get into her apartment. If she retreated back, they're certainly going to try to have a team in place to take care of it. So I say we tune into the news tomorrow morning and see what happened.
Good plan, XO.
Oh, I'm enjoying this. Woo, colorful, crazy down there. Have you tried this popcorn? It's great.
I guess I'll sit down and eat some popcorn.
Were the Mercs in Exo armor, or were they just not? Like, what I'm trying to work out is whether or not their suits stopped working.
Oh, you mean their cameras and stuff?
The Tempest Company, if they were in like the
Oh,
mech
the
suit,
exosuits and stuff. Yeah, the ones that were within the courts when the blast went off. Yes, they are not functioning.
so they're probably getting butchered then.
Yeah, well, some of them have gotten out and whatever else too. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, they weren't all in armored suits. But yeah, At the moment, it looks like the Hunglungs are winning the battle here in the courts.
Woo!
Well,
Yeah, baby.
that's good. Let's just make sure that they're winning before we step out, right? That's the plan.
Well, you're supposed to take out Yandee, though, right? That's your job, as I recall. I think you wanted to get paid for that anyway, right?
The assumption is that Yandee is going to retreat to her villa, so that's what we have to do after this, right?
Well, she'd
Yeah,
be,
I would think that's a mop-up operation. I mean, shouldn't we see which way the tide's going to go here, and
cool.
before
So you
we
guys
head in
will
that direction?
hang out here and wait.
I mean,
You have no
I-
communications or anything. You have no monitoring systems.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going out there. No way.
All right, so you guys
My-
hole up in
my-
here.
What about
Sorry,
you,
sorry,
Paul?
Chris, I can barely hear you. What'd you say?
My only concern is that she's already left or is leaving now.
Yeah.
All the electrics go out. There's a firefight. She's unlikely to stick around.
We want her to go. That was part of the plan. Make her run. We know where she lives. Reedmar and his folks do. Now the second part of this is if the Hunglungs take control of this area, then we move to the second point of the journey. We hunt her. Isn't that? I think that's the plan. Last time I checked, that's what I remember.
It all starts to fall apart. So the gunfight will go on for a while. The Hunglungs definitely have the upper hand, and they've almost taken the whole of the court. And there seems to be hundreds of them. When outside reinforcements from the Tempest Company arrive, more men in exosuits and a couple of mechs start mowing in and just mowing down people indiscriminately. They just start blasting into the courts, just shooting everybody, not giving a fuck.
Did you send that text to Reedmar?
Yep. Oh yeah, I did.
Is there any sign of the Reedmar's crew?
Well, I'm gonna send another text to Reedmar right now. As you taking care
Reedmar's
of your?
people, if I recall correctly, Reedmar's people weren't focusing on the courts. Am I mistaken?
They're going to send some.
They would have
They're
some
going to send.
support. Yeah, you'd see some in there for sure. But it's mostly Hunglungs.
Okay. Well, the Hunglungs know
And now
every.
the mechs are firing gas canisters into the courts, and gas
Shit.
starts pouring out all over filling up the arena.
So is this lit again? Is there light or
Just
not?
light coming off the lights of the mechs and the exosuits themselves.
Okay. Well,
and lights from the various fires within. So it's dimly lit. Can't see too well, but it looks like the tide is beginning to turn as they're just gassing everybody. Now Hunglungs are pulling up rebreathers and such. Basically, these things just kind of come in through the main doors and they just start gunning up into they're gunning into the stands and everything. I tell you
well,
what.
we had two.
Give me armor saves, I guess.
Okay.
This is not going to go well.
Well, I got a couple ideas.
As your booth gets sprayed with one of these pulse rifle shots blasting through.
I failed.
Oh, just on the button.
Mhm.
I passed.
You
30.
passed? Okay, cool. Vince gets into cover. Captain Albright just gets into cover. Svalbard gets hit with some rounds that come through the windows as the glass all shatters. Let me see what the damage is on this particular one. Oh, consider a pulse rifle. I think it's 4d10 or 5. 5d10. 5d10 bullets.
Okay.
Let's see,
Okay.
10, 11, 20, 30 divided by 2. You're going to take 15 points of damage.
Okay.
15 points of damage. You didn't take full damage because you're in the booth. You're partially covered. You just get
Yep.
half damage.
All right.
A couple of bullets come through, maybe clip you. And then you get
Yeah.
with Captain Albright and Porter.
You
You spilled your popcorn.
Damn it.
A lot of everything there.
I'm never coming back to this theater again.
And now some of the gas, and it's basically like tear gas, starts pouring into the booth as well
All
from
right.
outside now that the glass is shattered.
It's like no choice but to leave.
We got to go. I think if we can get any Hunglungs who nobody's going to know us, because I'd say they'd know how to maybe find a hatch or an escape, right, corridor in the ceiling, something like that.
Absolutely.
So if we can find some Hunglung in these hallways, we
There's
can
plenty of
find
fighting going
an
on all over the
escape
courthouse.
route.
Yep.
That's part of how they got in here, right?
Yep. So you're looking through, and you see a group, and they recognize Albright.
Captain, get us out of here, buddy.
Where have you been? We've been looking for you.
Yeah, we were fighting over there. How's Imogen? She's still with us? She's still in the fight?
I don't know, but we haven't seen her since everything went dark. But it doesn't change. No matter what's happened, it doesn't change the mission. Come on, we got to get you over to Yandee's penthouse.
Yeah, man. Let's get out of here.
So they'll lead you through to some
let's go.
corridors, and it'll take you, unfortunately, it'll still take you a couple hours to get there, even with them knowing the way, because it's a long ways away. But they'll be able to get you there without having to walk through the streets, at least, where there's fighting going on all over the place.
Ooh.
So the three of you will be moving through various crawl spaces and gutters and everything else. Yeah, I can take Brunhild off. She's not there at the moment. You can't see her. You don't know where she is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Newt, Albright, and Chief Porter moving through the crawl spaces and whatnot, the veins, as it were, with some Hunglungs en route to Yandee's penthouse. Who am I missing? There he is, Vince. Sorry, Edie, you come to first. It's like a hard reboot, right?
Okay.
And it's powering back on. You're still in the same place with 14 that you were sheltering in, but according to your chronometer, you've been offline for approximately an hour. You hear the sounds of gunfighting and things going on outside. Massive chaos, shouting, screaming, people dying in the streets. Explosives going off.
Can I get a vantage, like a view of the courts from our current location?
Yep.
Okay. So I see the Tempest Company sending in mechs and stuff like that.
Well, this is about an hour later. Well, maybe half an hour later after that. So at this point, no. You do see a mech marching down the street right outside your vantage point, in fact. And you see operators and armed troopers all over the place. And it looks like it looks like they're setting up some kind of a cordon, as it were, around the court.
Okay.
There's still sounds of fighting and gunfire going on inside. And there's occasionally shooting on the streets. Occasionally, you might see like a few guys go running down the corridor, and the nearest Tempest mercenaries, you see them just like open fire and gun them down. Don't even ask to ID them or anything. Just anybody running on the streets, they shoot.
Okay. And do I get a sense that this cordon that they're going to be making is going to fall within or without my current location?
Without. You're across the street.
Oh, okay, great. Well, then in that case, I'm going to pick up Android 14, throw him over my shoulder.
Okay.
And see if I can make my way out to a back alley.
He's still unconscious. I'll just put him on screen so we know he's there. Okay. You maneuver out to a back alley. You can see a hollow screen. It's just it's chaos. It's got multiple screens showing, like different things. You can see. Let's see. This is an hour after all the fighting. You see, Tempest Company mercenaries begin to regain control of the airlock as court is currently being secured. According to the news, at least, it looks like Tempest Company mercenaries have squashed an attempted rebellion from within the courts. They believe it was some kind of a prisoner escape or something. So while simultaneously a massive force assaulted and temporarily gained control of the airlock. Casualties are high on all sides, it says. Um, yeah, basically like news flashes, streets of prosperous dream run red with blood, etc. But getting the idea. Oh, and then I'm sorry, you will see also a clip played back. It's a recording from earlier of Yandee being carried out and tucked into an armored car, basically an armored, like an armored hover car, and driven away from the courts with a bunch of Tempest Company operators and Novo Droogs. Sorry, it's probably a mixture of. There's probably a couple of Tempest Company operators and a bunch of Novo Droogs. Really, more like it.
And
Think of it's
and
kind of
this
like a big armored limo like type thing, hover limo. That'd be more what it is.
okay. Okay.
So they just carry her out. She doesn't even look conscious, and they toss her into the car basically, and they pile in with her, and then it drives off. Yandee, Vor Yandee, evacuated from court during rebel attack, etc.
Okay. Um, I Okay. Well, I'm going to, I guess, try to find a. What I would really like to do is call Janice. um, well, I'm going to actually set Android 14 down, and I'm going to unbutton the first 3 or 4 buttons of my, I guess, or maybe unzip my jumpsuit a little bit,
Mhm.
because while this form was not intended, it does have its uses,
Fair.
and I'm gonna kind of stick my head out and see if I can find uh, someone who looked like a Tempest Company mercenary person, that uh, yeah, someone who might be sympathetic to a young a young woman whose grandfather is been injured by the vile Hunglungs.
Oh, you're hoping he won't recognize you as an android, huh?
We're gonna see.
Excellent.
I am.
Okay. Okay. So you did hear the part I said earlier about they're just indiscriminately shooting everything moving on the street. Just checking.
Well, I'm not going to go into that street. I want to go to a side street, see where they're.
Gotcha.
It's not where they're
Maybe where
being
it's not
like.
as bad. Fair enough.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah,
yes.
because you were moving through the eyes. So you move out on the street. Let me see here. What do you get here? What can do? Give me a D10 roll, please. Plus 10.
I rolled a 5, so 15.
Okay, so how many do we have here? Ooh, wow. Okay, about 35. Yeah, you actually come across a group of Teamsters, armed mostly with improvised weapons, burning and looting, and gathering themselves together. It looks like there's about 35 of them. Um, and one guy in particular is trying to get the others to stop like looting whatever nearby shop. I'll just pick one at random. Looting the nearby BDSM dungeon. Whoa. Um, and yeah, they're counting numbers like trying to figure out how many they have. They say and it sounds like they're trying to mount some kind of a counterattack against the Tempest Company. And after about 3 rounds, 10 armored troopers come marching down with smart rifles, taking shots, and they start fleeing down the street to gather more numbers before they fight back because they are just these guys are armed with improvised weapons and shit. They're not ready to take on 10 armored troopers. No, these are the exosuits, right? So they're the
All right. Well,
out.
I'll stay kind of hidden, I guess, as like the fight. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
Okay.
they just
Yeah,
kind
I'll
of
just.
will walk past you as they're shooting at these fleeing Teamsters, etc.
Okay. Um, I
They
guess
probably
if
make
there's
some kind
like
of
a.
announcements. Disperse, disperse. Prosperous dream on general lockdown. All civilians, uh, board yourselves up inside your homes. If you're seen on the streets, you may be shot.
I'm going to see if there's like a straggler from this Tempest Company group, try to flag him down and tell
Try to
him
get the
that.
last one, basically.
Yeah, and basically say, um my owner, he's an old man. He was He was assaulted by those teamsters. Please, he needs help. And I'm going to try to wave him into the alley.
Okay. Do you have any skills you think could play into this bit of deception? Do you have Rimwise?
I do have Rimwise.
All right. I'll let you roll Rimwise plus your intellect. I think
Okay.
that's the best, best attribute to use for this.
And I think this is a fail. Give me a second. Oh, yeah. I rolled a 69, ironically.
Okay. Give me an armor save as he raises up his smart rifle and shoots at you.
Oh, grim.
Ooh.
Oh, a 5.
Unfortunately, I have a 54, which is a success. So it's a higher success. It hits and does. Let me double check the damage on this. First time I think I shot somebody with a smart rifle. 1d10 times 10. Am I reading that right? Yeah, cool. Okay. 40 points of damage as a smart rifle blast tears through you.
Oh, my goodness. Well, in that case, I am going to head back into the alley.
Yeah,
Running.
and as he fires a shot, the other 9 are turning around to see what's going on. So you run back into the alley. Another shot fires off and blows off a chunk of the building, on the alleyway that you run past, missing you.
All right, I will grab Android 14 and break my way into another building or whatever.
Give me a strength roll.
Sure.
And another D100 roll as well, please.
Okay. Strength was a 49. That is a fail. I can tell you that much right now. Strength
Okay,
was not
so you're
my highest.
trying to smash into this establishment, unsuccessfully at the moment. Everything's locked up. There's massive looting and shit going on. What was your D100 roll?
And the D100 is a 29.
And as you're trying to smash into this place, you look up and you see it's actually a. Oops, that's the wrong fucking random location chart. Here's the one. 29. Oh, look at that! It's a sleeve storage facility.
Oh.
It's called Cryo First. You want to try again?
I am not certain. I think I'll just run down the alley.
Yeah, a couple more shots indiscriminately come ringing down the alleyway. Sounds like they're just shooting down there. They don't even pursue you. Once they shot you and you ran off, they're firing more shots just to make sure you don't come back.
Well, in that case, I am
disperse. Return to your homes, or you will be shot.
They're not kidding. Yeah, I'll find another alley. And
there's plenty of little spots you can slip down.
Set Android 14 down, and maybe even throw some garbage over him and us, like just whatever I could find.
Just some cover, like to block you from view. Okay. Wait for him to come to.
Yep.
Okay. I think that's a good spot to call it. We're over 2 hours. Yeah, we are over 2 hours for the night, because I don't think we're going to finish this. If we push on, it might take another 2 hours. So I think it's better just do it in another session. Experience points. Everybody's been in danger this session. We had the excellent planning and roll results and everything at the airlock, followed by some Three Stooges antics at the courthouse. Yeah, you guys could all have 12 XP.
Okay.
And that's where we'll stop it for the night.